Hi, I'm Nick Burr, and today I'm taking a look at a custom Tele style guitar built by Rab Guitars. Rab Guitars, that's R-A-B. Check them out. I'll put a link below the video so you can go to their Facebook page and check it out. Okay, so a little bit about Rab Guitars. Rab Guitars is essentially Mike Palmer. Mike has been teching for some time. He's been doing upgrades, repairs, customizations, electrics, setups, fret dressing, leveling, etc. You name it, he does it. But he's recently got into the building game, and this is a prime example. As I say, this is a custom Tele style guitar with a binding back and front. It's one of my favourite looks of a Tele. It gives it a nice little bit of class, I think. Maple neck, gloss black finish, single ply scratch board. It's quite a classic look. So let's go into a little bit more detail. The body is made of American swamp ash. Now, I don't know if it's a general rule, but on first picking up a guitar, I noticed the weight. It's quite a weighty guitar. Now, I've played a lot of guitars in my time, Teles, Les Pauls particularly, some Strats, etc. But this is up there with the weightiest. It's not uncomfortable though. It sits nicely even on a strap. You know, it's not uncomfortable for any amount of time. So yeah, what it does do, Swamp Ash, is impart a great tone across the whole spectrum. You've got some lovely thump in the low end, nice sparkly top end, great for chords and funk and blues, etc. And some nice singing mids when you get into the the higher gain stuff. So it suits kind of a lot of styles. The Tele is much maligned in that sense. You know, you think it's too simple, but it's great for a lot of things if it's done well. So yeah, in a little bit more detail then, the neck is 9.5 inch radius. Now, in my time, particularly in the 80s, I went through a lot of the really flat, what I call wizardy type necks. But this it's great all round. When he first told me it was a 9.5, I thought, oh, am I going to get used to that? But it's great for bends, it's sort of up the top end as well as chords down the bottom end. It's really nice to play all round, and it's finished in that lovely gloss finish, which gives it a lovely sort of vintage look. So what we have on the hardware front is a more modern style bridge with the 6 individually adjustable saddles, both for intonation and height. I think that gives it a little bit more accuracy for tuning and stability, and it's nice and comfortable to play. It's a nice sort of quite flat sort of surface to rest on, particularly if you're sort of palm muting, etc. On the headstock, you can see what we've got is some vintage nickel coated Clusen tuners. Again, they give it that nice vintage look, and there's a nice skunk stripe down the back. So that's kind of the basic construction of the guitar. The pickups, they're a set of bare knuckle, the Boss. That's what the set is called. I've done a little bit of research into that. The rear pickup particularly is quite tightly wound, so although it's not overly gainy, it does give you a lot more clarity and punch at all sort of settings on the volume knob, really. It's just a little bit more bite and punch than an old standard type of Tele pickup, really. And as I say, it cleans up nicely when you roll the volume down. So yeah, we'll dig in some sounds again. Okay, so I've got this set up through my Line 6 Helix. On the clean sound setting, I've got it going through a Vox AC30. That's quite a classic combination, the Tele and the Vox. I think bands like Quo, etc. use that. But it's really nice for chords. So we'll give that a go. That highlights one thing to me on this guitar. Again, the setup is great. There's not a dead spot on the neck. When you start playing up high, the chords still ring really nicely and true. And it sparkles really nicely. So we'll move on to a kind of mid-gain setting now. This is a kind of Marshall type thing, but at quite low gain. So let's try that. Great for driving sort of low gain stuff. If I move on to the center setting, lovely tone. And again onto the neck pickup. Really lets the personality of the playing come through, I think. Still with a lot of sustain. I do have a little bit of compression on this. Obviously you can hear a bit of delay. Just to let you know, I'm running this direct, so from a desk into it directly. So probably the best way to listen to this is on your headphones if you get a chance. Yeah, and then we'll move on to some high gain stuff. So there you have it, really. Great to look at, great to play, and it sounds great too. What more could you want? Okay, so check them out, Rab Guitars. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.